Our conversation with Mr. Bob Pollock from the Extension Service, brought to you by Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people. And he's on the line with us right now. We've also got a caller right away wants to talk to you, Bob. First, Bob, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Hello. I wanted to ask Bob when you should put your hummingbird feeder away.
Oh, there you go, Bob. That's a good question right away. She wants to know, when do I put that hummingbird feeder away? That's something that comes up every year because folks want to know, do the hummingbirds hang around too long if the feeder's out too long?
I think as long as they're feeding and utilizing it, keep it out. They'll decide when they're going to move on.
Okay, thank you.
All right,
are you still enjoying their visits?
Oh, she's gone, Bob. But that is a question a lot of folks have. They have the idea that if we keep the hummingbird feeder out, the hummingbird won't know when to fly south because he's still getting good food here.
I think they have an internal sense of when they need to go, and it probably also relates back to day length and temperatures and
yeah, so they'll figure it out.
Yes,
just like the barn swallows. The barn swallows always know when to come and when to go.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. And the crickets do too. We had our first cricket of the year in the basement when I got up this morning. That's not a happy thing.
Probably wasn't being quiet either.
No, he wasn't being quiet. He was yelling out. He was looking for some love, and he's not going to find it there. All right, so if you want to ask Bob a question, 479-1160 is the telephone number. You can call him at 479-1160. So a couple of questions related to the storm. First of all, the drought watch for Indiana County, 15 other counties, that isn't affected by the fact we got a little bit of rain, even if it seemed like a lot of rain to folks this week. We're still pretty far behind, aren't we?
Yes, we are. Yeah, and it was also spotty as well. So I'm sure there were some spots that got a better drink than others. So it wasn't uniform, and it really wasn't enough to takes the edge off for the moment.
Yeah.
But it doesn't release the dryness issue. That's for sure. The ground, and go out and dig a hole or try to, and you can start to find pretty quick where there is moisture and where there isn't, and where there's compaction in the soil, and how dry it really is.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a lot of cracking. Soil's cracking; it's just pulling apart.
Looking for moisture.
Yep.
All right. We have another caller. Good morning.
Good morning. I called about a year ago and asked Bob questions about an amaryllis. And he told me last year that I had waited too long to put them into cold so that they would be blooming for Christmas. So this year I have them outside right now, and I'm wondering, is this the time I should bring them in? And if I put them in the refrigerator, is that cold or is that too cold for them? How do I do this now? They've got beautiful green leaves. How do I get them ready to bloom for Christmas?
All right, Bob. Let's make the amaryllis bloom at Christmas time.
Yeah. So, all right. So you've had it out all summer, right?
Right.
Okay. And did it bloom this past winter?
No, because I waited too long to put them into the cold.
All right. Yeah, and so it came back and it's grown pretty well.
Yes,
it looks pretty good at this point.
Beautiful green leaves. Yeah.
Okay.
That hesitation makes me think I need to go buy new bulbs.
Yeah.
All right. So does she take it in now, or when should she anticipate taking that plant in, putting it in the cold in the dark?
Yeah, you really need to store it for anywhere from up to 12 weeks, and that'll give that dormancy period. And you can do it in the refrigerator. So like in a crisper in the refrigerator. You have to be a little careful. You can't have any apples in there, anything that gives off ethylene. will cause, will not be good for it. So it's almost best to have a separate refrigerator or a separate cool spot where you can keep it for 40 to 50 degree temperature range for that minimum of 6 weeks. And a little bit, up to that 12 weeks is going to be better.
Okay.
And then that'll give it
if
that
I put it in
dormancy
something
period.
like a plastic container with a lid that seals, is that bad? Is it too much moisture in there?
Yeah, that'll probably get it too moist.
Okay.
Yeah, usually it would be better just you could put a paper towel in there underneath it, but drier. We want that bulb to dry down, so you can start. So if we think 12 weeks, that's
October
3 months.
9th.
Yeah.
October
so it's
9th.
almost similar to poinsettia when we're looking at trying to flower that, and especially by the end of the year. So you can start to dry that down now.
Mm-hmm.
Are they in containers now?
Yes, they're in the pots that I bought them in.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to take them out of the soil.
Yes.
Correct.
Yep.
Okay.
Lift them out of the soil.
Okay.
Get all the soil off, and then let them dry down, and then so that cold period acts like winter, and then that initiates.
Mm-hmm.
That process then initiates that transition and for the reflowering.
So let me get it clear here. October 9th would be exactly 12 weeks until Christmas. She's getting them out of the soil now in order to prepare to put them in cold for October 9th, or on October 9th, she's getting them out of the soil, she's cleaning them off the dirt and putting them into cold then.
Yeah, you want to do that pretty much now because you want to be able to, because it's still growing, you want to get it off the water so that it starts to go down, and dries out.
Okay, so that's...
Yeah, you don't want to wait till
do it now.
That October to do it. Yeah.
Do it now.
Okay.
Get them all dried out.
I'm going to try it. Thank you, Bob.
Okay, you're welcome.
There you go.
And if you have any other questions, feel free to call along the way.
Okay, thank you.
And I can if you call the office at 465-3880 and leave me a message, your address, I can send you kind of the list of what to do, the steps to do.
Okay.
That way we'll all be on the same page.
465-3880. But she can get them out now. She begin the dry down process, and then by October 9th, that's when she sticks them in the refrigerator.
Okay.
I wasn't confirming that. I was asking.
Oh,
that.
you were asking.
Okay. She doesn't want my advice, I can tell you that. Yeah, I don't even know what an amaryllis is. I thought that was a city in Texas. All right, so storm damage. I want to ask you about some storm damage from last night. We had a lot of trees come down, a lot of damage to lawns and shrubs and things of that nature. When a tree loses a big major branch in the wintertime, or in a storm, and it's got those jagged pieces that are just sticking out of that trunk, anything need to be done with that?
Oh, most definitely. Yeah, that should be pruned so that all the jagged edges are gone. Just need to be cut off, and it needs. And of course, however that happens, sometimes it's on the main trunk, which then in most cases that's destroyed the tree, and the whole tree will have to be removed. But if it's a branch, you can usually cut that branch back to where it attaches, either to the main trunk or to another branch. So we have a good clean cut, then that allows it to heal and grow over that cut surface. Of course, the bigger that cut surface is, the longer that takes. It can take years for that to happen, and in that time frame, we can also end up getting some internal decay in there as well.
All right. And in the old days, folks used to, they'd find that wound in the tree and they would put paint over it, but don't do that.
No, that's not necessary to do. It's primarily cosmetic, especially on trees that have lighter colored internal wood. Painting that with the tree paints just covers that up and makes it less noticeable, but it does not aid in the process the tree has to go through to grow new wood to cover up that wound.
Where the storm went through and maybe has damaged some shrubbery or hedges, things of that nature. I know we talk about it in the wintertime where there's heavy snows that damage those trees, but this is the growing season, and they're still nice and green and growing. They're not in the dormant season yet. Is there a difference in terms of getting that tree or shrub back into shape?
Yeah, and depending on the shrub, but most shrubs you can make sure, they might have gotten bent over, and with the foliage and everything on there, that you might be able to bring them back up and even take some, twine and go around them just to get them back upright again. Mm-hmm. The longer they lay weeping over or laid down, they'll probably stay that way. They won't come right back up on their own. So gently lifting those up, you'll have to look at each stem or branch in there to make sure it. Sometimes they'll be bent over, but they'll actually snap or break farther down along the stem towards the ground level. So you have to look at that, and if it is broken down there, snap but not completely off, then you'll probably have to remove that branch.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And just like humans, huh? The longer they lay around, the more they want to stay that way.
So true.
just saying. Okay. Yep. All right.
Yeah, and some things you may not want to get in a hurry to prune something off or cut them back. See how they respond. Just make sure there's no breaks or anything in there that it does need removed. But some things may look pretty ratty at the moment, and just a little bit of trimming will help them get back to where they were.
Mm-hmm. All righty, there you go. And remember that great George Strait song, Amaryllis by Morning. Thanks, Bob. Have a great weekend.
You're welcome. You too.
It's the voice.